Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, so our training tonight is on bookings, and I'm going to talk specifically on how do you ask for a booking. So we're going to break it down to home parties and then outside of home parties. So let's start with a home party. If you feel like you need more bookings, I want to talk about just kind of the entire party and what are you doing that is working for you to get bookings, what is doing that might be working against you. So let's start with why people book parties. People book parties. The number one reason people book parties, which is surprising, you would think it would be for free product, it is for fun. People want to have fun at a party. So what are you doing? Stop and think. What are you doing to make your party fun? Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a fun person. I don't necessarily think that I am like a fun, silly person. But I do know how to have fun. I do know how to create an environment where the people can interact with one another. People need that these days. We are so disconnected. We're so connected on the computer or on phones, but not with people, and people need that. How are you, throwing in a little bit of humor? How are you making people feel good? That can make it fun. Complimenting people can make it fun, okay? So if people feel good. How long is your party? You want to set things up to make it easy for you to ask for a booking. If your party is too long and people are uncomfortable, that's not going to work in your favor. So think about that. What products are you showing? Are you showing too much? We love every single product, don't we? Or almost every product. But you can't show too much or it's going to make your party too long and people are going to lose interest and they're not going to want to sit through another one of those demonstrations. So you got to keep it short and sweet, and you want people to want more. Like, I want to know more about this stuff, so I want to do a party, okay? And then, what are the seeds that you're sprinkling in? What are some of the things that you say? So here's the specific one for me. You've probably heard of booking seeds, but when I am talking about the body cloth, I kind of say, all right, hang on to your seats, and I find that person that's already been a little bit weirded out by everything, and I'm like, all right, Julie, this one's for you, get ready, hang on to your seat. If you thought everything else was weird, this is going to be even crazier. We have products that are specifically meant to care for your body. So this cloth right here is called a body cloth. The purpose of it is to wash your body without the use of soap. And then I usually wait for her reaction because it's going to be something like, whatever. And then I say, all right, listen up. So I thought this was strange. I wasn't going to do it. But I hosted a party before I became a consultant. And you get a ton of free stuff by hosting a party. So one of our free items was this set of body cloths. And my husband and I thought it was a little different, but it was free. Why not give it a try? That was about 4 years ago, and we are still loving it and using it. Okay, so you see what I did? I mentioned hosting a party. You get a ton of free stuff, but it was in my story about the body cloth. So it wasn't like a direct host a party. It was just kind of a little sprinkle of the thought or the idea of hosting a party. So think about places where you can put those in your party. Okay, the other thing is we need to ask. Okay, the number one reason why people don't book a party for you is because you didn't ask them to. So let's talk specifically about how do you ask at a party. Biggest thing that I can say hands down is the 4-question close with the index card. If you haven't seen that, there's training on it, but question number 2 is about hosting a party. So you want to have something that you say in there, and then you want to specifically ask every guest on that card, are you interested in learning more about hosting a party? Yes, no, or maybe. Okay, I am asking every person at my party if they are interested. All the maybes, I do my absolute best to turn them into a yes. All the yeses, obviously, I do my absolute best. Okay, so then let's fast forward a little bit to the checkout. This is the part that I really want to talk about. For your checkout, here's what I suggest. 1, have a separate space away from everybody. It doesn't have to be an awkward thing. I've attended a party before and it was super awkward, and she was like, I'm going to have a private conference with each of you. No, don't do that. I just say, okay, I'm going to set up a little station out here so I can spread my stuff out, and you can come over to me. If you are interested in placing an order tonight, you can come check out with me over here. If you can scoot out into a kitchen, use a kitchen table, or find another space, another living room space, whatever. If it's a small home, totally fine. Be prepared with a clipboard. bring a clipboard and have a separate checkout space as much as possible, because you want to interact specifically with each guest. This is so important. Okay, so then as you're checking out, I have heard people say that they ask every single person. I don't necessarily, because I look at my cards, and if it's a maybe or a yes, I'm talking to them, okay? If it's a no, I don't. But I have heard people say they ask every single person, and this is how I would say it. I would say, I would just kind of chat with them. So did you learn something tonight? What are you thinking about getting? Let me take a look and look at their order form, and, oh, okay. Was there anything else that you loved, or, anything else on your wish list or whatever? And then this is how I specifically ask. I say, have you ever thought about hosting a party? Or I'd say, have you ever thought about gathering your friends, the people that you're closest to and you care about the most, and sharing Norwex with them? Have you ever thought about that? Or what would you think about? Okay, I'm not asking them, will you host a party? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm asking what their thoughts are. Have you ever thought? What would you think about? That's what I'm asking. Okay, so that's the verbiage that I use to actually ask them for a booking at a party. Like I said, that's why it's so important to be separated, because you want to just have that one-on-one conversation with people. Okay, so let's take a step back and talk about outside of a party. Let's talk specifically about customer follow-up, text messages, or phone calls. I use text messaging now because it's convenient, and I use a system that automatically does it for me. It's expensive, but this is what I'm using, and I'm loving that because it's done. Before that, I preferred phone calls because I had better success. I didn't always connect with everyone. I left a lot of voicemails, but I liked to be able to communicate with the person and hear the inflection in their voice. When I would call someone and I would say, hey, have you tried out your window cloth and your EnviroCloth? Hands down, they would always say, oh my gosh, yes, I love it. I mean, who doesn't like those things, right? So they'd say, oh my gosh, I love it. Now, there would be people that would continue and go on and on. Yeah, I was showing my sister the other day. And there would be those people. Those people who said that, I would right away zone in, and I would say, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you love that. I said, hey, have you ever thought about hosting a party and sharing this with more of your friends? Keep it simple. Have you ever thought about? A lot of times I would have people say, oh, well, I kind of did, but they would never come out and say it. So then I would say, okay, well, let's talk about that. What are you thinking? And then a lot of times, well, I'm just so busy right now. Okay, that's when we go into the whole process of overcoming their objections. Okay, but just get them talking. That's the biggest thing. Have you ever thought? Same thing if you offer a sample pack, okay, and they are loving their sample pack that you give them, or the try it pack. How do you turn that into a booking? Okay, we get the products back, or you check in and follow up on their sample, and you say, what did you think? What did you try it on? Get them talking, and then say, wow, that's so awesome. I'm glad you love it. Hey, did you know that you could get a whole set of those for free by hosting a party? Have you ever thought about that? Okay, another thing is you can specifically ask people to help you. You can say, I'm just starting a new business, or for me, I am actually doing this right now. I have 2 new Facebook party themes. I am actually contacting people and saying, hey, I could use some guinea pigs to help me try this new Facebook party theme. Would you have any interest in helping me? Here's the thing, you're going to get a lot of no's. Don't be afraid of that. I have heard people say to have 100 no challenge. Get 100 no's, and that's okay. Okay, I will come there in just a minute. Head out. Mealy, head out. Okay. Yep, I'll be right there. So I be okay with no's. I have had a lot of people go for 100 no challenges, because you might get 100 no's, but you're gonna get a couple yeses in there. So don't be afraid of the no's. All right, the joys of being a work-at-home mom. I'm gonna go take care of a poo-poo diaper. Thanks for joining tonight.